Hey mom.
Yes?
I really want to start vlogging on Instagram, but I don't know how people will react to it.
Do whatever you want, honey.
I'm afraid they'll have a bad opinion of me, or they'll start making fun of me with their friends over DM.
Nobody's going to laugh at you, honey.
Forget it. I'd rather they keep the same idea of me than to show everyone who I really am.
Ooh.
San Pedro's society. We live in a bubble where you can't be different, where being different is seen as something wrong. We live where the rules and expectations have developed into a must you need to have in order to fit in society. Social norms are so powerful to the point that they influence the actions of all who are members of society. They're so ingrained in people that not to follow such untold rules or behavior likely creates serious tensions of oneself. The fear of what people will say is a double-edged shadow that has always existed. It is that which puts bars on our freedom, which slows down our steps and forces us to be careful not to violate these tactic laws about what is expected to be right. I asked my Instagram followers if they could tell me rules San Pedro has created. I was really surprised how everybody ended their answers with the phrase, "If not, you'll be judged. But if you do, you'll also be judged." The answers that surprised me the most were, "If you're overweight, you'll be judged. But if you're too skinny, you'll also be judged. If you have expensive clothing, you'll be judged. But if you wear too much, you'll also be judged." There were many answers like these ones that explains how society works. It seems as you get judged even when you walk or talk. Members of society are the ones who have unconsciously created these rules that stop people from being who they really are. These judgments have created fear. Fear that makes you forget who you really are. People have been hiding what they want to do or their true identity just to fit in. Fitting in society has been an expectation everybody has or wants. And the way they do this is by blending in with everybody else and hiding their true colors. I had the chance to speak with one person who lives in San Pedro and has been affected by its society. And this is what the person told me. For over 8 years, I have been watching YouTube every single day. A few years into my obsession, I thought it would be a good idea for me to start my own YouTube channel. Of course, this was just a thought, because I was too afraid of what people would think of me. I would record my own videos with my friends and never really uploaded any of them. I kept thinking that somebody in my school would find the videos and make fun of me for them. I was already insecure in the first place. I didn't want to add another thing to my list. I think that my fear began because I wanted to be accepted in the society that is very strict on what's cool and what's not. For example, when Converse and Ugg boots were popular, everybody felt the urge to need to buy them. Or silly bands, everybody brought them to school in order to compare who had more and who had the coolest. With this began my fear of doing something out of San Pedro's box. Nobody that I knew had a YouTube channel, or if they did, people would make fun of them for it. We are worrying too much about what other people think about us that it consumes our thinking and keeps us in a state of paralysis. It basically stops us from having progress and keeping up with our own life. What's happening is that when you're posing the question of wondering what the other person is thinking about you, you're activating your mind to search for the answer. Your mind then pulls back a whole bunch of scenarios, but none of them can actually be confirmed. Because your mind cannot confirm any of these, it's an incomplete request that you're giving your mind. So your mind keeps looking for what other people are thinking about you. And now you can't process any other thoughts very well since those thoughts are consuming your mind. So what do you do? How do you get out of this? And how do you stop this? It is all up to you to create these answers. Your mind will never figure out what other people are thinking. No matter how much you try to figure it out, it won't figure it out. So it's up to you to answer these 4 questions. Sit down with a paper and pen and answer these following 4 questions. What do I think of them? What do they think of me? What do I think of the situation? And what do they think of the situation? You're gonna feel like you're making up answers, but if you don't make up the answer, it's an incomplete question for your mind and it will never stop. Unanswered questions make you feel insecure. Let's say you're wondering what other people think about your appearance. Make a decision and answer the questions by writing them down or saying them out loud. Say how beautiful you are, how you've got this all together, and that you know where you're going. And at the end say, "This is what other people think of me." Because if you come up with these answers and you believe your answers, your attitude, your performance, and the way you act around people will completely change. Get involved with making these answers the way you want them to be. This will help you boost your confidence and minimize the amount of worry you have with people judging you. I invite you to try this process for your own. Don't forget to be yourself.